Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Devendra Fadnavis ji, respected partners, friends from the media, and my family, thank you for your presence. Ritesh and I stand here today, the year that our very first leap into the deep end of the filmmaking pool, Dil Chahta Hai, turns 25. We didn't know how big a splash it was going to make, but there really was nothing else that we wanted to do and nowhere else that we wanted to be. Telling stories, hopefully some of those being such that live on beyond theatrical experience in the collective consciousness of society, in the hearts of people, is something that we have always aspired to achieve. Cinema, after all, is an emotional experience. Before all the short breakdowns and location scouts, before structure, before scale, we are trying to capture a feeling, something that is true, that is of value to share. Music has always been central to that mission. It is the messenger that not only travels ahead, announcing of the story's arrival, and then seamlessly integrates into it, but it also lives on, quietly shaping how you remember the story and staying with you almost like a best friend, a voice to your celebrations and a shoulder to lean on in tough times. This is why the coming together of cinema and music at this moment feels significant and meaningful to us. Not as strategy, but as creative alignment, as an opportunity to honor the emotional core of storytelling while allowing it to travel further without losing its authenticity. Universal Music Group understands the power of music, not just as sound, but as feeling. Partnering with them is not about logistics and reach. It is about helping us to be better storytellers. It is about them helping us to find new pools that we can jump in together and take the first steps into. We have always believed that Indian stories do not need permission to exist globally. They do not need to be made more palatable or to be designed to fit any mold. They need to be truthful, and the people making them need to be brave. I'm grateful to Ritesh, to our core team that is present here, to the writers, the directors, to the composers, the lyricists, the most prominent of whom is here with us today, my father Javed Akhtar. I'm grateful to them all for being brave with us and for pushing us to be brave. You all made us better. And now with the added strength that we have received from Universal Music Group, we can further move the envelope by dreaming even bigger. This partnership is not about us having arrived. It is us having redefined the starting mark. Somebody famously said, draw the art you want to see. Start the business you want to run. Play the music you want to hear. Write the books you want to read. Do the work you want to see. Together we intend on doing just that. Thank you to my parents, my sister Zoya, my wife Shibani, my children Shakya and Akira for all the strength and joy that they have brought to my life. And thank you all once again for being here today. Thank you.
I have to speak in the end. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. The Honorable Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis ji, the partners, collaborators, friends from the media, and my family. My dad is 92 and I brought him out here today. So thank you. Today is an important milestone in our journey at Excel. It means a great, great deal to all of us here. 25 years ago, Farhan and me started with Excel with this film, Dil Chahta Hai, with a simple dream to tell honest, ambitious stories, which, just didn't entertain audience, but stayed with them, sparked meaningful conversations. What guided us then was instinct. We learned by doing, by listening, and by staying close to stories we wanted to tell. A shared sensibility and trust in each other became the foundation of everything we built. Over the years, Excel grew steadily through films, through music, people who came in and built this journey along with us. At Excel, we've always believed that when a story is deeply local, it becomes universal. And today that seems absolutely true with the Universal Group. So, and music just lives deep within our culture, in our stories. It's how we express our emotions, celebrate how we grieve, how we fall in love, and how we remember. With UMG's global footprint and deep understanding of music, we have the opportunity of taking our culture, our music, and our films to audiences around the world, and to bring global perspective back home here in India. None of this would be possible without our team at Excel, our collaborators, Javed Uncle, Zoya, who are here, our partners who have shared this journey with us and believed in through change and reinvention. And before I end, I just want to thank my father again, my wife, Dolly, my kids, Arav and Nirvan, in always being patient and being through this journey with us. So thank you. And now, at the end, I would like to definitely invite on stage the Honorable Chief Minister to come in and say a few words. Devraj, please come up. Thank you.
Listening to these conversations, we are talking about the history, the future. Ritesh, we live in a world where the question that everyone asks is, can you hold my attention for 30 seconds? And 25 years starting off from 2001, I still tell my friends, that film is over 3 hours long.
3 hours
is over 3, there you go. The exact precise timing. And yet it holds your attention. But Excel has navigated cinema, streaming, and now deeper global collaboration. So what does, again, long-term creative sustainability mean to you in what is now a rapidly changing landscape?
I think, personally, I think for sustainability, for the future, I think the thing being patient and just following your inner voice, being honest to what you believe in. And I think that came to both of us, I can say, is with Dil Chahta Hai, because when we started that film, we honestly didn't know at that time when we were 26, 27 years old, that whether that music will work. I mean, I'm going to say it out today, that at that point, when Shankar Hassan Loy, Javed Uncle, Farhan, we all collaborated and did that music album, there was nobody believing in it. They never thought this music, and I can name every music label which rejected it at one point. So we never knew where it was going. We never knew that whether this story would travel, whether it would be global, whether it would work theatrically. I mean, completely had no idea. But I think what we believed in, that's what we did, and we just, that was the world we understood. So you stayed true to that. I think so if you follow that, and that lesson you learn, is because things will keep evolving, audiences will evolve, platforms will come in, change, grow. But I think the thing is just follow your instinct and be there and you'll be fine.
You're right, because, I mean, maybe call it preparation, but while coming here on my way, I was still listening to the same soundtrack. I just wanted to get the words right. I just wanted to make sure that I got the sur right, so that Javed Saab is not offended कि गलत सुर में गाया है. But Dil Chahta Hai, when it came out in 2001, August, if I am correct, everyone was taken aback. And that has been the hallmark of Excel Entertainment, because you guys have created the trends, everyone follows. And now we are here 25 years later. But if I ask you, now with this partnership, with the next decade, how do you imagine it? What excites you more? The scale, the possibility of deeper, more emotionally rooted storytelling?
I think scale, if you ask me, is meaningful only if it's on some solid foundation of emotion. So you can, it is not either or, right? You need to have that strong foundation to give it scale. So I think, again, if you give an opportunity for, like I said earlier, to your creators, to your partners, collaborators, to just stick to their instinct and their inner voice, scale will follow. And that's what I think has been our core belief. And with UMG coming now for the next 25 years, we'll continue believing, following that path, because I think it's worked for us to just, like I said, always I say this, if you believe in something and you're honest to it, then you'll be able to convince 1 billion people to follow what you believe in. So I think, again, rooted to that.
Farhan, your company with Ritesh, Excel Entertainment, your family, I think you guys are cinema for us. Whether it's your dad's work, whether it's your work, whether it's your company's work, you've lived cinema and worn so many hats. Director, actor, writer, musician. So when music and story align, and it's so personal, right? Something intangible happens. How do you recognize that moment creatively when a film's sound becomes its soul?
Thank you. It's difficult to really put your finger on that one moment when something like that happens. But I've grown up watching a lot of film. And for me, like you said, I think the thing that stays with you as a reminder of the film, of the experience that you've had, of what you enjoyed in the film, what it meant to you, what it did to you, is experienced every single time you hear the song. The songs of that movie, the music of that movie remains with you as, like I said earlier, like it's messenger. So to me, music in film is an integral part of the Indian film experience. I feel it's something, unfortunately, over time has somehow taken a little bit of a backseat. And I'm really very confident and hopeful that through this now incredibly new, strong partnership that we are creating with Universal Music Group, that we want to make that front and center again. There is a pool of talent that they have. There is an understanding of music that they have, an understanding of sound that they have that I want to learn from, and also tap into. To be able to bring music back into films in a kind of way that we grew up enjoying them. Like even when you talk about films like Dil Chahta Hai 25 years ago, the music was really, really a part of the narrative of that film. It wasn't that the story stopped and the song started. And that kind of storytelling, I believe, is inherently Indian specific. That's what we're really, really good at. And sometimes I feel that we've forgotten how to do that in lieu of wanting to do something that the world is just doing and we want to compete with that. But what really registers with the world, and you can take this in any industry, film industry around the world, what resonates with the globe, with the world audience, is when they do stuff that is true to them. That's what they like to see. So that's what I'm really hopeful for, with this partnership that we have. And I'm, again, just thank you again to Kostab. I didn't say that earlier when I was here, but to Kostab, for really, really being a driver of and his belief in making this happen. And of course to partner with Devraj, with Adam, it's going to be an incredible journey.
I just hope I'm not going to get into trouble. Thanks to Dil Chahta Hai and all these road trips that people started taking from Mumbai to Goa, the Maharashtra government also decided that we need a better road now from Mumbai to Goa. It's around that time, right? But since we're talking about roads less taken, now as Farhan, as Indian stories, they're becoming more global. They are traveling further. Do you feel that there is a greater responsibility to protect, and that is something that I've always heard from you, emotional honesty, even if it means got to resist some of the global expectations?
I actually think I kind of touched upon this in what I just spoke earlier. I think people recognize, audiences the world over, recognize honesty, they recognize integrity, they recognize purpose in your work. And the fact that you are not pandering, that you are not selling your soul to try and entertain them in some kind of way that is not originally you. So it's just that. And you need people, excuse me, you need people through your journey, because nothing happens alone. You cannot do it alone. You need people to be there. I mean, apart from supporting what it is that you fantasize or dream about, but for you to be able to support them. Because like Ritesh mentioned, the syntax of cinema is changing, the audiences are changing, a younger audience wants a different kind of film. And there's an understanding that we have, and a filmmaker who today is 25, at how old we were when we did Dil Chahta Hai, has a very different understanding of the world and a very different experience of the world. We grew up without social media, we grew up without, technology being so easily accessible, so we could take our time and tell stories. today's world maybe wants to do it differently, and that is something that we need to adapt to and need to be able to understand and provide them with tools, provide them with the kind of support that they can be honest in what it is that they are trying to say, and they can show integrity in their work. So that's really what we hope to do. And again, I feel that what's happened here today is going to be a massive, massive step in our journey towards that.
I'm going to ask this to anyone who wants to jump in and answer. The stepping stone, this is the moment. UMG and Excel partnering, and 25 years ago you started with your first film, 25 years later, here we are for this moment. Say we're in 2051, Farhan, 25 years from now. This moment will be remembered because this started it all. What do you see? How do you see the world change after this, at least for India, in terms of partnerships?
I think Kostab has actually answered that really, really well. I feel when you ask me about 2051, what we should look back and think of, we should actually be thinking of that in 2051, that this moment should be made to matter. That's what it should be. We now have a responsibility to make sure that in 2051 that this moment matters. So this is really, it's a starting point. We've had a wonderful journey of 25 years leading up to this point. But this is really like a reset button, getting going again with completely renewed vigor, with new strength, and with an aligned creative vision with people who we absolutely trust and want to create better content with. So that's really how I see it.
Adam, Dave, you...
Of course, you must.
Sure, ma'am. Can we pass a microphone?
But ma'am, I'm not in the docks.
I think, ma'am, we spoke about musical storytelling, something that Devraj touched upon, something that even Farhan touched upon, and that is what we are hoping.
I don't think I can agree that music is dead from our films, because the fact being that, just like the Chinese films had kung fu, we have our music. We express, like I said earlier, everything in our films through our music. Every emotion is expressed through it, even if it's anger, fear, happiness. We've seen it in enough number of films that somehow with music and the lyrics, it's all expressed. So I think this is only going to grow. It's not dead. And the good thing is that, like with Universal, what he's spoken about is also independent music, which is outside films, has an opportunity in the last few years to stand on its own. So I think they're both going to coexist, and it's wonderful.
All right, gentlemen. Universal Music Family for believing that Indian creativity deserves global partnership. Of course, to Ritesh and Farhan and everyone at Excel for 25 years of showing us what's possible when you refuse to play it safe. We had our Honorable Chief Minister in attendance. We heard from him, Devendra Fadnavis ji, and of course, Shri Kaustubh Dhawse ji. I can say ji, not Devraj, right? And of course the entire government for creating conditions where partnerships like this can thrive and flourish. And to everyone in this room taking time out, like I said right at the start, the first Monday of January, the first Monday of the year, your cinema lovers, thank you so much, everyone, for being here.